Thank you so much.
All right, let's move away from South Africa now, see if there's good news in Zambia. Not very sure. The body of a 23-year-old Zambian student, Nathan Lemekani Nyirenda, who died on September 22nd, 2022, while fighting for the Russian army in the war in Ukraine, has been returned home. The body of late Lemekani, who was studying nuclear energy in Russia before joining the military, arrived in Kenneth Kaunda International Airport in Lusaka on Sunday.
Although he had been a student, Lemekani was convicted of drug trafficking in April 2020 and sentenced to 9 years in prison, but was pardoned through a special amnesty on the condition that he participate in the war. Unfortunately, he was eventually killed whilst fighting in Ukraine. Zambia's government, through the Foreign Affairs Minister Stanley Kakubo, has requested that Russian authorities give details of Lemekani's demise.
According to the minister, DNA tests to confirm his identity have been conducted and Russian compensation will be given to his family. Zambia has promised to work to ensure that nothing like this happens again to a Zambian studying in Russia and that there are no other Zambians in Russian prisons.
There are many layers to this conversation. There is no amount of compensation, no amount of Russian compensation will be enough to make his family feel good or take away the pain of the loss of their son or their brother. No compensation will be worth it. On the second hand, the other layer would be conversations. There had been speculations before about offers being made to prisoners in Russia and saying to them, we will reduce your sentence if you go to war for us. It's a claim which they had, and some, at some point, some of them had denied, but, it's unfortunate that this is where it is. How does somebody from prison unfortunately land himself on the battlefront? Someone who's never been trained, conscripted into the army in order to reduce the sentence. It's just a very, very sad update.
Well, I'm going to share a lot of unpopular opinions with regards to this. I always would say that war is one of the most chaotic things that anybody would ever, experience. And I think everyone should pray to never experience war in any place, time, or for any reason. And in times of war, first of all, you would expect that there would be things that would happen that are not even necessarily related to the war. Expect the most, insane stories to come out. But this is unfortunate for this family. And it's unfortunate for many reasons, of course, that mostly because they've lost their son and their loved one. But he was in prison in Russia. Okay, for drugs. He was meant to be in jail for 9 years, I believe. It is not too insane to hear a person who's meant to be in jail for 9 years decide that, okay, if I will get a chance at reducing my jail time, then let me take this opportunity. And the opportunity might come with having to fight in a war that has currently been going on. There is no excuse in the invasion of Ukraine, but there's other perspectives to the whole, the beginning of the war. There's other things that have happened that, I always hold myself back from talking about it, when I'm on television. But off camera, I would always talk about, the fact that there's other people that should be blamed for all of this, and it's not Russia. I don't see it as a wild option for a person to say, okay, instead of spending the next 9 years here in Russia, away from my family, not in school where I was meant to be, I will take this chance. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out well for him. And unfortunately, he lost his life. Should Russia be blamed? I guess so. But I don't know. I'm just saying he took a chance. Unfortunately, it didn't work out well, and this is how it's ended. So yeah,
the only question, as we conclude this conversation, is Zambia saying that they're going to ensure that
it doesn't happen again?
Yeah, it doesn't happen again. I'm wondering how.
I don't know how.